There you go.
How about now, Joanne? Tell us.
Better?
Hello.
Let's do introductions again.
Carrie says, can't hear you. Can you hear us now? I'm checking.
Yeah.
It's on.
I think that was just on because it was blinking. It was on
Okay.
me. All right.
So Carrie and Joanne, who both said can't hear you. Angela says can't hear you.
Okay. How about now, Joanne?
Okay.
I think we're good.
I think we're
All right.
good.
We should redo introductions.
All right. We're going to redo the intro. Hi, all. I am Katie Morton.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Palmer.
We are intuitives and spiritual teachers and energy healers. I'm now bungling our intro. Together, we are divinely guided. And every Thursday, we do this live video where we answer questions for your spirit guides.
And we are technically challenged.
So what I was saying tonight that you couldn't hear, that I was apparently rambling in silence because our Yeti somehow got muted. What I was saying is we're streaming to YouTube tonight, to Facebook, and we're doing this through Vimeo. We're also streaming on Vimeo. So this is a little bit more complicated setup than we are used to.
A lot more, yeah.
And, you know, please let us know if there are technical issues. If you can't hear us, thank you for letting us know. If the video is skipping or being kludgy or weird, just keep us informed because we need to know how it's going to turn out. You okay? You okay?
I'm trying to do something like to Nourishing Journeys site, and I can't figure out how to do it from my phone.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to hit share to... Yeah, they don't make it easy, eh?
I'm going to copy link.
I'm going to copy the link. Yeah, we're both just trying to figure this out on our phones.
Well, yeah. I hope you guys are having a really great night because we're having a blast over here.
We're struggle bussing. Let's not lie. Okay. Publish.
Actually, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing too, that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, and it would give you something to do while we're bungling around and I'm unable to apparently post to my page from the business app, which is just stupid. Sorry.
All right, I think we're ready to go.
You are. Go ahead and read the first question while I mess around with this.
Well, and I'm just thinking, okay. Well, we'll have to see how things happen with the comments because, yeah, whatever. Okay. Jess Mack. Good evening, ladies. Any message from me?
Okay, Jess Mack. Sorry, I said that really weird. Looking forward to it.
I don't know. I just saw an image of you kind of dancing, kind of a goofy dance. I don't know. So I was trying to figure out what that was about. And then I see you sitting in front of a book reading. It feels like for self-development. And I feel like somebody's saying you're on the right path. Things are moving forward. I think sometimes you put a little too much pressure on yourself in certain areas and maybe not enough in others, but generally speaking, like it feels like you're moving forward, even if it doesn't feel like it. And I feel like sometimes things seem like it's a bit of a struggle. You know, I think that's one of the things with the human condition. Sometimes we struggle more than we need to, and other times we avoid struggle when we're supposed to.
That's weird.
I know, but I think that's part of what we need to figure out sometimes. And well, struggle is always optional, but you know, as far as facing challenges, and sometimes we put challenges in our own path and we don't need them, and other times we just avoid them and we need them to grow. So I think you're doing relatively good with that compared to most people of Earth. And I feel like they're just saying, you know, good job on that. And try not to feel like it's all for naught, because it really does add up, and good things are coming, even if you don't necessarily see it.
Yeah. So all of that, and this is for everybody, but also for you, Jess. It was about the idea of, why humans struggle so much, and often it's because we over-identify with our thoughts and our feelings. So what does that even mean? You over-identify with your thoughts and your feelings, but it's so here's the deal. When you're not a human, let's say you're a guide or an alien or any of the beings that we communicate with telepathically, they're not so tripped up by their egos and by their minds. They're really led and guided by their soul. And that's what we want to strive for, is to be guided by the soul. And when you're guided by the soul, you don't struggle so much because, well, first of all, you're following excellent guidance and you're doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. And also, if an unhelpful thought or emotion arises, you're better able to witness it rather than collapsing your reality with it and believing everything you think. That's how we really wind up in upset, basically, and feeling like everything is just, it's wrong and it's hard and it shouldn't be this way. And we get into arguments with reality, or what we perceive to be reality, which is really often just our own confusion or our wounds or our assumptions that are more often than not incorrect. And so what Jenn and I like to talk about is learning, how do you align with the soul and become more focused on following the mission versus getting caught up in thoughts and feelings. And I think that's it.
All right. Is yours in the same order? So I've got Danielle next.
For some reason, well, let's see. Where am I? I have no idea where I am.
Oh, so Sandy, let's do Sandy Schrader, because
Sandy
she's not
Schrader.
showing up on mine.
Okay. Sandy Schrader. Hi, ladies. Miss my parents deeply. Their only granddaughter is extremely connected and was the light in their world. I'm hoping they might appear tonight. I'm hoping you all can connect with them tonight. Any messages from them and my guides? Thank you so much. Okay,
Sure
Sandy.
thing.
And a little note just popped up on my screen that says sweet potato toast. Switch up your breakfast.
Oh, Lord. It's divine messaging for you, Sandy.
Have some sweet potato toast.
All
All right, so we'll tune in. Okay. So the first thing I just heard was all is well. And I was like, okay. And they're like, say it. Because that's something our guides say often, is all is well. All is well and all will be well. Even when it doesn't seem like it.
So I feel like they're saying, you've been through some tough times. And I think why they're saying that is, whatever it is that's going on with you right now, it's time to heal it. Mm-hmm. There's definitely healing that's needed. And you've seen miracles happen in your life, and it is time for more. Time to open back up to who you are. And what you're meant to do here. It kind of feels like, and not that you've gone off path. I really, honestly, the way the guides usually put it, we don't go off path. We have higher paths and then not the higher paths, but it's all a path and it's all possibility. And it feels like it's time for you to find a shift in the path. There is a higher calling. There's a higher purpose. Your higher mission is starting to kind of seep in. And I heard leak in, actually. It's trying to start coming in. So if you can imagine, there's this crack in this dark path that maybe you weren't sure what it was, it just you were blind to it because it just wasn't time or whatever. You couldn't see it. But there's a crack of light. There's a door that's opening, and this crack of light's coming into this hallway, this path. And that's only going to get brighter and brighter and make more sense. But there are some things that need to be healed. Trusting in yourself, like really deep love for yourself. And I think like more trust and faith in yourself, and I think in the universe, God, whatever this is for you. All of that feels really important. You getting anything else?
Yeah. It's about your parents. You know, they are around, and they just want you to know that I'm just hearing you can be connected also. It does feel like more healing has to be done before you can receive direct guidance from them. Definitely feels like a clearing out of the channel, potentially getting attuned to Reiki, or if you've already been attuned, getting reattuned, or perhaps getting that taught in another level or whatever it could be, or getting attuned for the first time. Reiki 1 could help. That often does open up the channel for a lot of people and help them to receive guidance when they couldn't before. Or it can make the guidance more vivid and palpable if they already do get guidance. So I do feel like, you know, perhaps give that a shot. Jenn here teaches Reiki at Nourishing Journey. Not to
Throwing a plug.
not to pick you out, but you know, she's great. She's a great teacher. She taught me. What else? I just heard don't despair. You know, there's like our past loved ones are always all around us, and they love you very much, and don't feel disconnected, you know, just because it's like your radio frequency isn't tuned to them right now, but I feel like it can be. So, yeah.
And the last thing is I saw an image of stairs, and what I think that represents is this, the ascension. You're working on your ascension, and it's time. And that literally means it's like self-growth, self-consciousness work, clearing up the wounds and the distortions that you have around anything. You know, the more wounded we are, the more distorted we are. And, you know, clearing up some of those things. But what they were showing me is like you're ready to move up the stairs. So this is ascension process. It's time.
I just heard, yay. Okay.
Danielle, anything from my guides concerning my relationship with my best friend?
Oh, Danielle is actually showing up in my comments tonight. Bravo.
Yay.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I want to talk about relationships in general. And I think this is also for all of us. It's not just Danielle. You know, relationships are meant to reflect things back to us a lot of times, maybe not every time, but a lot of times. And it feels like there's some reflection happening. And, you know, when things pop up or issues pop up, or there's something about a relationship, or something's not quite going the way you want it, or, you know, it's going too well and we get scared about something, whatever it is, always look at it from within. Like, what is it trying to show you about you? And oftentimes it's a mirroring effect. And I feel like it's something to do with that. I don't feel like I'm hitting the nail totally on the head, but I just wanted to give that because I feel like it's in this general essence of the message.
Yeah, I was getting the same. And what I was sort of tuning into was that there's like a trigger here, and and again, the general messaging and for everyone is that when we're in a relationship and it causes this little trigger, this little upset that makes us feel dissatisfied, it's trying to figure out what is that needs to be healed. And so Danielle, for you, I'm feeling like there's some sort of a little trigger here, but it's showing you a deeper wound that needs healing, that it's less about the relationship with the other person and more about what is this issue that needs healing. And it feels to me, it's something like feeling unimportant or not feeling valued. And oftentimes when we feel that way in a relationship, there are different aspects that we can heal. One of it is that we're not valuing ourselves, and then we're looking for that validation and that value to come from someone else. And then, but if we don't already validate ourselves, we're going to constantly feel like we're undervalued by other people because there's this sort of need for validation that never quite gets filled the way we want it to. There's going to be this sort of an eternal dissatisfaction there. But if we can heal that and self-validate and self-love, we don't need it to come from other people. And then that way, even if somebody does something, for example, insulting or selfish, it doesn't even need to trigger us because we can clearly see, okay, that's theirs and it's not mine. I feel like that was it.
Yeah, I think that's good. All right, who do you have next?
Who do I have? I have Lauren Regal.
Me too.
She yells,
It's working.
hello, with lots of exclamation points. Any messages from the great beyond? I like your thinking, Lauren Regal. All right. Okay, cool. Here we go.
I just saw an image of you dancing. I think it's the cha-cha. Is it like, I don't know. I think it's the cha-cha.
You okay?
And then I'm hearing, the, I guess it's the circus. Is it circus music? Da, 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 da.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm seeing like clowns and juggling. And I think it has something to do with your performance with something and juggling a lot of things. But let me see what else I can get. Now I'm seeing you. So I was just trying to tune in. I'm pretty sure that that's what that meant. Something about juggling a lot or maybe not taking time for you. I do feel like some self-care is warranted. Maybe you've done it recently. I don't know, but I literally saw you getting a massage.
Oh, that's interesting. I saw like a mani-pedi, like showing off the fingers and the toes.
I think everybody wants a reading like this one.
I know, right? Maybe I'm just like trying to talk myself into it.
Right?
Yeah, I'm just here to make the time for it. Yeah, it's important. If any of you out there watching, if you hear somebody getting advice even to get self-care and you're like, well, I don't have time for that. Well, what's there? What's behind that? Because we had to heal some things about self-care and, taking the, time. It's time, it's money to take care of the self and to, like shop and cook and prep and all. There's lots of different ways that we can deny ourselves self-care that it's like kind of ridiculous. Like we need to invest in ourselves and love ourselves. And here's the thing, we're here to serve. We're all here on soul's mission and all that. But if we are like haggard and ragged and we're martyrs, we're not serving very well. And we're serving from a place of bitterness. So we do.
It's not so fun.
I've been there, man, where I'm just like, when is this person gonna heal already? And it's like, what kind of service is that? That's terrible. It really should come from a place where you're joyful and it feels fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be hard to do when you're not taking good care of yourself.
Very true.
Yeah, I just heard amen. So, okay. Yeah. So anyway, and actually back to the point, they're just saying, if any of you have triggers about self-care, look at that. Maybe it's something to be healed. It could be ancestral, because a lot of times our ancestors, they had to like till the land. They didn't have time for mani-pedis. They had to survive. So sometimes we might have some survival stuff baked in there where we can't be, self-care feels, frivolous or unimportant or shallow, or we may think that other people who do that are narcissistic or something. So if you have bad feelings about other people who self-care a lot, look at all that. Don't begrudge people their mani-pedis and massages.
All right.
And actually, they're making one final point, and this is for everybody. When it comes to manifestation, this is a big thing that trips people up, because if you judge somebody who, let's say they're rich and beautiful, for example, and you're like, well, that person is obviously an a-hole. You aren't going to be able to manifest that which you judge negatively. It makes it really hard. And a lot of people will sort of subconsciously have these issues where maybe they don't trust rich people. They think they're all corrupt, for example, or they think all beautiful people are shallow, or, fill in the blank. We all have our little things about that. And if we really want those things for ourselves, it's really hard to get them if we're judging other people for it. And if you just think, well, I don't want that, that's just really shallow. It's like, well, maybe take a look at it. See what needs to be healed. What happened to you in a past life?
Yeah.
Broke your heart. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, moving on. Joanne.
Recently had a huge confirmation on my intuition and channeling gifts. What else is in store for me in the near future?
Awesome. Congratulations.
You've come a long way, lady.
Yeah, faux show.
So first thing is I heard more of the same. And then I see you like channeling messages, but it's writing. I see you writing them. And I felt like it was with the angelic realm, and which I know you already do, and you're very closely aligned with the angelic energy. But it feels like you're going to be doing more and kind of, I want to say bigger, but I think bigger means like giving messages to people, like group. Like it feels not just like, hey, I'm getting together with a friend and, this is what I'm getting. It feels more structured.
Awesome. Like perhaps an angelic wisdom circle.
Ah.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I'm feeling it. I'd go. Let me know.
We could actually attend.
Mm-hmm. I know, right? That would be awesome. Okay, let me see what else. Oh yeah, and they wanted me to, like, they showed an image of you on, all right, I'm going to back up. So I know that you've had like some dissatisfaction and some disappointments in life, like we all do. But what I was seeing was a shift in perspective that shows more appreciation for your life as it is. And what they showed, I think it was a metaphor, but it was you on a tropical island with your feet up and your toes freshly done. And it was your voice saying, I can get used to this. Like it was real nice. Like, yeah, like I'm okay with this. So I also just feel like greater like levels of gratitude and appreciation for where you've been, how far you've come, and where you are currently, and feeling more peace and in a resting space, and not needing to be somewhere else other than you are. We all have those niggling things of wanting things to move or be a little different, but it feels like deeper levels of satisfaction coming and deeper. So yeah, enjoy that unfoldment.
Excellent.
Sweet.
You want to get the next one?
Sure. I see Jacob Palmer, who says, hey there, how are you doing? I am doing well, Jacob. How are you? Alrighty. Kelly says, great to laugh. Good times. Okay.
Good evening, Shirley Sampson.
I didn't see her.
Okay.
Whitney said, okay, Whitney is asking for her mom. We saw her.
Did you see Joseph Battaglia?
Nope.
Why are these? All right, well, let's do Joseph and then we'll go to whatever you have next.
I have Carol Cook, I think. Okay, you go ahead.
All right. It's September and still have not got the go for my project. When last we left off, you said July or August. What do you get now? Good question.
Yeah. I'm not getting any time frames. I'll see if Jen gets something, but I am hearing like this is somewhat of a waiting game. This is a bit of similar guidance to what we got before, which was sort of fill your time and attention with other things. If we're kind of hanging and waiting, often things won't happen. It can actually slow things down.
Yeah. Well, what I was seeing is, and I'm pretty sure when we said this before, like don't take our word for it with timing because timing is often
wrong.
Yeah.
Flat
Yeah.
out,
Well, I mean, because there could be different timelines. So you
Right.
just don't know what's going to happen when and how it could take a left turn somewhere. But I do still see it, and I see it as like a block, and they showed me a block, and it's moved a little further ahead. But it still feels like it's a possibility. Let me see if I can get a percentage.
I got one.
All right, go ahead.
86%.
All right.
What did you get? I was wondering if you got
I didn't get
something
anything.
similar. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like, ooh, I wonder if we got the same thing.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was like 5? I mean, not for Joe.
I mean, no, sorry. We don't need to laugh. Yeah. And what my guys want me to explain something where I said like, timing, da 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 da. There's a lot of different things that can impact timing. We've talked about this before with you, Joe, where it's like people have free will and there's other decision makers, and that can mean from the government down, for example, like this whole COVID thing can have an effect and how things are gonna play out. And then that, sorry for the saying, but it's like poop rolls downhill. So when you have perhaps even thousands of people impacting decisions when it comes to governments, et cetera, it can be very hard to predict timing. And that goes for any situation in our lives, whether it's a job or love or what, other people's free will can affect the timing. And the less healed somebody is in this chain of command and decision makers, the less predictable they are. And so when the guys are trying to run timelines, especially when it comes to having some unhealed people in the mix, it makes the timelines extremely unreliable and unpredictable. If somebody is very healed, they become pretty predictable. And if you have only healed people that are sort of in the decision-making process and in the mix, a lot of times the guides can be pretty accurate with timing. And also we've seen it where there's sort of deadlines or destiny points where the guides can really pinpoint something. And we've seen some levels of extreme accuracy. So I don't want to say that the timing is always wrong. They just wanted me to kind of correct and to give a little bit more information about what we meant by saying not to rely on timelines. It just really depends on a lot of different factors and whether there's sort of like a destiny with like the timing or not. And this feels like at this point in time, there's nothing pushing like a certain timing or a destiny with it. And it also does feel like for you, there is some sort of lesson here, I don't know what to call it, but it's something about diversifying your interests and your pursuits right now that they really want you to do. They don't want all of your eggs in this basket. It's like there does feel like there has to be a diversification of your offerings or your skill set, your product. So if there's other products or projects personal projects or pursuits that you want to work on, it does feel like the time is now and it's important to undertake those and get them underway. And I just heard please. And I'm also feeling like it's not clear now how this will unfold, but it's really going to benefit you to do that, to pursue these other things. It's like there's these sort of like loose ends or spaghetti with it that if you do it, if you pursue the other projects or the skills, it's going to come together and make sense in the future, and possibly open more doors. But it feels exponential. And I think that's it.
Yeah, and the only thing I'm hearing is that, what we focus on is what expands. If you're focusing on something not having happened yet, or the fear that it won't happen, or what am I going to do if this doesn't happen, that kind of a thing, that energy expands. So I think that that's why they're saying really focus on other things. Get your mind off of this and allow it to unfold. I feel like you've been doing that at times, but then other times you come back to it. I want to acknowledge that too. So at times I think that you are doing that, but I feel like they're saying just keep doing that, keep going that direction, keep making sure that, you're as much as possible, we're human, but be positive, and work on the subconscious thoughts and things that start coming up. Really notice what those are.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right. I have Carol Cook.
Yeah, let's do Carol.
Carol says, "Hi, ladies. My second time here."
Hey, lady.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Will the man in my life make a claim that I'm his or still be non-committal?
Whoa.
Well, okay, Carol.
Well, you are nobody's but yours.
That's right.
But let's see if the
let's
dude
see if
will
the
commit.
Dude, yeah, let's see what's up.
Okay, so, a lot of times in these kinds of situations, there is healing that needs to be done, and it's showing up in your life for a reason. And I do feel like he's capable, and it's very possible. But I also feel, and I also feel that the path to that is some healing that you need to do. I'm sure he needs to do some too, but we can only control ourselves. And when you do healing, it shifts things in the relationship to the point where either he will decide to jump on board, or he will decide he has his own work to do, or maybe he'll just not do it at all and then it won't happen. But you making the steps to do your side of the healing really makes things move along. And what I'm picking up on this is, well, first, even the need to have someone commit, what's behind that? Obviously, I'm a big fan of commitment.
Right.
So it's not that, but to really go underneath of the skin and figure out what is it about this that you need from the relationship, because that's probably what you need to heal.
I just heard yes, like YAS.
And I think there's multiple things that you're going to discover about yourself. It might be something about self-love. It also feels like it might be something around the security and the confirmation that you are worthy and things like that. I feel like there's different avenues and angles that you're going to come up with around this, but all of that then needs to be healed. And it feels subconscious, and I feel connected to your dad around this. So maybe something with your dad or some sort of ancestral healing needs to happen with this.
Yeah, and I'm hearing too, don't worry that the healing can be quick and easy. Like
Mm-hmm.
don't shy away from it. It doesn't have to be a daunting process.
Just don't be afraid to ask the why.
Yeah.
Get in and ask, and don't be afraid to realize that there's something that needs to be changed within you about how you're looking at something. I think a lot of us fear that because we don't want to be wrong, because being wrong means we're not lovable. And so if you can even heal that, if that's even a part of it, whatever it is you can think of or come up with or dive into, to just even be aware of, sometimes just the awareness will clear things up. And then you might need to possibly get some healing around it. So if you know of a good energy healer, or if not, we also do healings too. This is not about us pushing our services. However, I do feel that there's going to be some things you need someone to help you dive into. Anything else?
I think you got it.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alrighty, what you got?
What I got? I've got Shirley Sampson.
All right, cool. We have completely different comments.
I have no idea how this happens. All right, Shirley says, any messages for me?
Okay. Sorry, that was my dog snorting, in case anyone was wondering. She's just
Hi,
laying back
baby.
here, snorting. You okay? Sorry,
Sure.
it's very loud in here. I'm very distracted. Go on.
I saw an image of somebody, and it's like they were speaking into their hands. They're like, it's time. All right, Shirley, what does that mean? It's time. So I do feel like it's about your mission and what you're here to do. And as a soul, like, what are you here to do as a soul? We're not just here to work and go to sleep and pay bills and feed people. We're here for a lot more than that.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you've been asking questions or diving into it, or maybe you even think that you're on it, but I think there's more coming. There's an awareness that's coming around it. So just know that that's happening, and it is time. And that said, it's reminding me, I know our guides told us that we're going to have a special message at the end, and I think we're going to start doing this a lot now. So if you can, stick around until the end, or if you need to go, maybe come back to the replay and come back to like the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, we're going to do a special message for the group about what's coming for us. That sounded ominous. What's coming for us? No, it's better than that.
The great things that are coming.
People are like 2020. I don't know. I want to know.
Humans of Earth.
Right? Here we go.
We come to you in peace.
We hope. No, they do. Most of them. Okay. On that note.
Surely. All right. Yeah, it feels like it's connected to your mission and what you're here to do. It also feels like what I'm getting with this is it feels like there's something you've been holding back on, or maybe procrastinating about, or just not sure. It reminds me of when Katie and I were told we needed to start doing video work, and we're like, yeah, someday.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And
here we are. So that
Don't
brings
put it
me
off,
to,
though.
they keep wanting me to say, so I'm going to throw in my 2 cents. They also want to talk about ancestral healing. So this is a good segue because when there's parts of our mission that feel daunting or that we're sort of dragging our feet on, it's often because there's some sort of healing that has to get done. They've specifically been saying ancestral healing. So it could be up the line, up the family tree, if you want to look at what issues maybe got handed down to you. A lot of us here are carriers of the baggage for various ancestors, and we're left holding the bag because it's ours to heal, and it's a beautiful opportunity and to clear it for yourself and the ancestors. So don't look at it like baggage. Look at it like it's a beautiful opportunity. They're reframing it for me. So yeah, think about what that might be, what might be holding you back. Oftentimes people don't want to step out fully on their mission because it might not be fully aligned with their family or their family values, or maybe certain members of their family will kind of like take issue with it or look down on it. And it might be your job to just say, no, I'm doing the mission anyway. Just gonna maybe have to love some people from afar, or I don't know, who knows how it might turn out, but it's really important to get fully in tune with the full scope of the mission and plow through and do the healing so that it can get accomplished.
I keep hearing the snorting back here.
Yeah, the snorting dog back here is nibbling on her feet. I feel like there's one more thing about that. Oh, just to round out the story of us having to be on video, I had to heal a lot with self-consciousness and, just my kid is upstairs like rampaging around and it's very loud. So
It's a party.
I don't know if you guys can hear that.
A party
or not,
of one.
but it's like shaking the house. So, okay.
Did you finish?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to see who's next for you?
Okay. I have Rachel Rose Farber. Good to see you. We can't see you, but good to read your comment. Any words from my guides? Been thinking about what they said last week. Confusing. I meant to ask this as a question. Any words from my guides?
Well, we don't probably remember too much of what we said last week because we just channel it and then move on.
Yeah, I don't remember. We don't know, but we'll see what your guides say this week.
Mhm.
Hopefully there's some clarity coming.
I'm not sure this is for you. I'm just going to say whatever this is. Sometimes I feel like a loved one just came in and I need to say who it is. I don't know that it's for you, but please let us know if it is. And we probably won't see the comment till later, but they came in. I have a really bad headache and I got a sense of a male figure and it feels, they showed me a picture of my brother. So it feels brotherly. I think they're trying to say that it's like a brotherly kind of of connection. It doesn't mean it is a brother. It may be. I don't know. It could even be another relative or a cousin or even a friend, but it felt like a brotherly connection. I don't know what it is they're talking. I'm trying to get more information, but they really want me to tell you that you're doing the right thing. And I don't know what that's connected to or what it's about, but that's what I'm getting. Whoever this is for, I'm assuming it's for you. And I just heard marching forth. I don't know if this person, and I saw someone marching like they're in the military. I don't know. But I heard marching forth. And then I heard let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, I just heard proceed not with caution, but with force and might. And also I was getting something about the confusion of like, sort of like drop the confusion. Sometimes we use, and this is also a general message and it's.
Oh, okay. So I just looked, she says she's in the Army.
Okay.
Was the male old? I don't know. I only saw the picture of my brother and it felt like a brotherly connection. So this might be someone who was in the military with you. So the way that they're speaking and everything, that would be my guess to it. I'm not getting straight answers on it.
Yeah. So one thing they want me to explain to everybody, a lot of times when we feel confused, sometimes it is a self-protection mechanism. And that's not to say that we said things clearly last week. I'm not sure what we said and why it was confusion, but this is a message about confusion for all of us, that a lot of times we will sort of be in a place of non-action or not wanting to, like, whatever they're saying, like March 4th, like don't be, that sounds like kind of a scary thing to do. But a lot of times we'll just stay in this sort of a place of like confusion. Like, for example, if we're trying to do video or streaming things, it's real easy to get confused and just like give up, and be like, nah. But is there some piece of my ego that's like,
you should have seen us earlier.
You guys, my laptop is like hanging from the ceiling on some sort of contraption thing. And I'm like, if this thing falls over, there was a lot to be confused by today. But there was also part of my ego that was like, this is terrifying. Like we're streaming to all these places. There was a lot of opportunities for embarrassment. And so there could be a way that my ego could use confusion to be like, okay, we're not doing this. We're not going to march forth with conviction and strength. Like we're just going to retreat to our bed and say the live is canceled, you know? So anytime we say we're confused, it's sometimes we have to do like a bit of an ego check and be like, well, can we just figure this out? Can everyone just calm down and march forth with conviction and without caution, you know? Or is our ego trying to be like, well, I'm confused because I'm a little bit fearful about how something might not go well or according to plan. And so I do feel like there's something in that for you. And I don't know if it's specifically according to the messages last week or not. I'm feeling like it's maybe yes and no. Maybe like, yes, that was a microcosm, but also for all of us, there's something in that because we all do it.
Mm-hmm. Not me.
Yeah, I mean, you're not a very confused person, you know.
No,
although
I have my moments for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. All right,
she's being a good friend. I don't know what you're
I'm
talking
racking
about,
my
Jen.
brain. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, generally speaking, we're not very confused people, but this was kind of a daunting setup tonight. Okay.
Okay, my next person is Chrissy Squirtney.
Okay, great. I have Angela Litchfield, but let's go with Chrissy.
All right, Chrissy, come on down.
Hey, Chrissy.
Hi, ladies. Are there any messages for me tonight? So I was trying to get a different message because I didn't want to have to sing.
Her ego was like, I'm confused. What is this message? I don't think I know what it is.
And the doggy's here. She wants me to sing, I guess.
Okay.
But it's the Def Leppard song.
Of course it is.
But it's always specific. Whenever they have a message that there's something that you need to say, they play this song for me. I've got something to say.
I don't think that's singing. That's the part of the song that he kind of shouts.
Well, there you go. That's good enough.
All right. Jen's confused about what is singing.
No. That's the part they keep playing in my head. That's what I'm going to give you.
Is it Animal? What song is it?
Oh, what is that called? It's not Pyromania. Oh, gosh.
I'm going to find more words to this song so that we can further this.
That's all right. I think she gets the message. You have something to say.
Okay.
I do feel like there are some things that you don't say that maybe you really want to say. And, I feel like they're saying, it's important when we have things that we want to say, as long as it can be said with love and compassion, whatever it is. And from a place of, so what they want to show me, what they're showing me is, Katie and I often talk about this victim pendulum. And it sounds terrible to say that, but we all do it. Right. So I'm just going to be straightforward, and we all do this. This is probably something that everybody on here tonight can take. The victim pendulum is, you've got this pendulum and it goes left and right. And on one side of the pendulum is the self-pity or the desire for other people to pity you, whatever it is. We all do that. It's the woe is me. The other side of it is the righteous anger. And that feels more powerful. That's there as well. And there are things that, especially when we're talking about relationships with people, or things that we need to address that might be uncomfortable or whatever, or things that have held us back from moving forward, we tend to approach it from that pendulum. We're either like, you need to feel bad for me, or we get really angry. And either way, it's not solving anything. It's not coming from a wiser space. And we need to rise above all of that to get to a place where we can see the other soul and really connect from a soul level. And from that space, with that love and understanding and compassion, say what needs to be said. And the beauty about doing that, and it addresses all kinds of things that may need to be addressed from a very beautiful space where healing can actually happen, and it's not blaming, and it's not, anything that's ego based in any kind of way. It's a very loving space to be in, and as often as possible, especially when you're in relationship. And it's not easy all the time because, the ego is what it is, and it likes to be where it's at sometimes. So, but yeah, I do feel like that's what they're saying. It feels like there's a lot of healing on the way for you and for those around you. And don't be afraid to be in that space and to say what needs to be said. And I'm keep getting this like feeling of being in that space, and and you're able to be like, Katie.
Okay.
I so love you.
I love you too, Jen. Where's the butt?
and your dog snorts an awful lot. I don't know.
Where'd she go? She's insulted. She left.
You didn't give me enough coffee earlier.
Oh, there she is. Oh, hi. Yes, we were talking about you.
Anyway, so, you get what I'm saying. Like, there's a way to approach things from a very high space. And the person feels the authenticity, and the dog is grunting because I'm rubbing her ears. Do you hear this?
I can't lower the mic anymore.
That's so funny.
You're so cute.
All right.
She went like, I was like, oh, she left. She's offended. And she thrust her face up like, I'm still here.
She's got something to say.
She's got something to say.
Anyway.
And
all
I
right.
won't.
I think the point is made.
And
yeah.
I need. I think it's animal.
I don't know.
Okay.
It could be. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not going to go through it right now. Okay. Let's do one more and then we'll do our final message.
Okay.
Do you want yours?
Sure. We have Angela Litchfield. Hi, ladies. Any messages to do with relationship? Thanks. Okay.
Angela Litchfield?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure what this means, but what they showed me is, how like sometimes you throw spaghetti at a wall and you hope something sticks. It was like you threw a whole like plate of spaghetti against the wall, and it's just like it's not sticking.
Sounds like a sexy relationship. Is that what we're talking about? Relationships? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, go on.
But I think what they're showing is, or it's more of a feeling I'm getting, I should say. It's this kind of coming back to center. And I think some of the approaches that you've had around relationship, it hasn't been focused on, I think, that higher space of being that we were just talking about. A lot of times we morph ourselves to fit different relationships, whether it be a good friend or a relative or a loved one or whatever it is. We morph ourselves to be different people. And there's a sense and a feeling of kind of coming back to center and being just really, truly authentic And the only way to really truly be authentic is to come from your soul space and not from your ego. And a lot of people think they're being authentic in their ego because, well, their ego wants what their ego wants, and they're just speaking from the ego. And I like blonde hair and blue eyes and ripped abs, whatever it is, I mean, that's ego. Even if it's, oh, I like it when people make me laugh, or they have the same point of view, or whatever, that's still ego. What is your soul really desiring? Where are you coming from with relationship? And I think that's really important. And it's not always an easy concept we're finding for people to understand and get, but it's a really important one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one of the images, like right when I tuned in, was when you do this healing thing and like your hands are sort of moving and you're healing different things. And I do feel like what that was representing was learning to approach relationships from that place of flow. Like when you're channeling a healing, it's much higher space, and it's a different kind of autopilot that's removed from the ego and all the thoughts and feelings that can get in the way of doing what we're supposed to do from a soul level. So it's like, if you can imagine what it's like, that sort of that mental space, or where you go when you're performing a healing for someone, if you can be in that sort of a high space where you're almost like floating, or it's almost like you're checked out in a sense of the body and the thoughts and the ego, and approach relationships that way, and to almost to like channel it just like from a higher aspect, if that makes sense. And I also think seeing the image of you performing healing was also representative of the idea that perhaps there is also some, in order for you to achieve that higher level, that maybe some of the lower thoughts and ego things that are getting in the way of relationships and perhaps causing the spaghetti approach, maybe some of those things need to be healed. Yeah.
Okay.
You okay? Okay. So you guys don't go anywhere. We have a final message for the group. So hang in there.
We don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
We'll
very
see.
Exciting. Sorry, I have a very funny guide who just went, so everybody, 2020 has gotten off to a great start. And then I laughed. Okay. He just said, no, seriously, from up here, from the higher perspective, look, we know it looks different.
Dicey.
On the earth. But in terms of the ascension and what we're here to accomplish as souls, everything is going really well, because we're here to wake up. And the information is getting out there. There are ripples. There are some people who are still asleep. And so those who are tuned into the correct information can feel really discouraged at times. And the guides are just saying to please trust that people are waking up in droves, that every day another thing happens or another thing comes out that causes more and more people to pop awake and to be like, wait, this isn't right. What is going on here for real? And then they start doing, their minds open, and they start doing a little bit more research, and they start connecting some puzzle pieces. And they're also bringing in the aspect of, as more and more people do wake up, there's a collective rise in consciousness. So it's not just about the 3D information that people are taking in. It's also the rising consciousness. It gets through to people. It really does. So they just don't want you to feel discouraged if you're one of these awake people thinking, where is everybody? They're coming. They're coming. Jen?
I think the big thing they want to say, first off, to kind of counter off of that, and then I want to get into talking about mission for a second. They were coming in with that. But we've all been enslaved in so many ways. And the more you dig into how we were created, where we came from, our spirituality, anything and everything around our existence and our worldviews, we've been very enslaved in a lot of different ways and very programmed. And it's very important at this time for us to wake up. That's what this whole thing is about. So it's almost like just suspend, I think is the right word that's trying to come through. Suspend all beliefs and all ideas of what is truth and reality for just a moment. And take that moment to just question, what is this? What is reality? What is true? Where am I enslaved? Where am I programmed? Just to question things, because I think you're going to be surprised. And we're constantly surprised at the programming and things that we're uncovering within ourselves. And the more you can let go of your own idea of what's truth and suspend that even for just a moment and just ask for pure, honest truth without the ego in the way, so that you're not in a biased space, you're going to start getting trickles of information coming in that really suddenly everything makes sense. And so just allow that to happen. It's like a minute a day, as soon as you're waking up or right when you're going to sleep, just get in that suspended state and allow the information to come in. The other thing is, with this incredible awakening that's happening, we are meant to dive into our missions and our purpose here. It's a really important time for so many of us, maybe all of us. I'm not sure, but it really comes through very powerfully, to not making excuses. Really step into what you're here to do. If you feel a passion or a calling towards something, it is time for you to step into it and to not be afraid. And it doesn't mean, cancel your day job and don't go there. I mean, it might, but it also may not. So this is not like, dive off the deep end and just hope you are caught, because it might not be quite time for that yet. However, dive in as best you can wherever you're at and start exploring. If you're not sure what you're here for yet, it's coming. So just be really open to it and start facing any of your fears that you are consciously aware of at the moment. And they also want to end with, please remember to be kind to one another. There's so much craziness right now. Unity is where it's at. And, in higher teachings, we are all one. And Katie and I are big fans of the law of one material, the raw material, raw contact. There's different ways to put it. But if you were to look up the law of one.info, is it .info?
I don't know what the website is. So
I think it's law of one.info.
It's LL Research is the company, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but there's lots of great information out there around it. And they've got books, they've got audio versions of the books. It's great to listen to. It takes time. It's not something you can digest in a couple days. And dive into it, start exploring all of that and figuring out who you are. What is unity? What is this idea of the law of one? We're all different people, but yet we're all still one. We are all connected. And it is really important to grasp that concept and come back to, where can we find unity again? Really important. And I think that's it.
I think that's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for being patient with us.
Yeah. And thanks for joining us this week. And we will see some of you in Sedona next week. We guess there will not be a live, correct?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Stay tuned. We're going to be in Sedona doing a manifestation retreat. If you're one of these adventurous types, I don't know if can you still sign up? Probably. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then you go to divinelyguided.tv. And for those of you coming to Sedona, we can't wait.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll see you on a live at 7 next week. And maybe, or, maybe we won't. I don't know.
Maybe you'll be with us. I don't know.
Who knows? All right. Good night,
well,
everybody.
One other thing real quickly too is we also started a soul growth group, and our website was launched recently. So if you want to find out more about our soul growth group, we meet once a month if you're able to. And then we also do a Zoom once a month. And we do have people who are joining us just for the Zoom. And there's going to be all kinds of fun things going on with that, activations and healings and a lot of great things. So
yeah, so that's also Soul Growth Group, and that's on divinelyguided.tv.
All right. I think we're done.
All right. Good
Thanks,
night.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.